Hey guys, it's Jake Mace with PhoenixLongevityArts.com, and in this episode I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Kung Fu philosophy, and in particular the Tao of Kung Fu. A lot of times you'll see the word Tao spelt in English with a T, T-A-O, and it's actually pronounced with a D, Tao, like Taoist. And the Tao of Kung Fu is a term that we'll use to try to describe more of the purpose for training Kung Fu. Is it really just to kick and punch somebody very hard? Is it just to get more flexible or get stronger? Is it about being able to win a tournament? Is it about eventually gaining enough skill where you go to the cage and fight in the UFC, fighting MMA tournaments? Or is it about using Kung Fu to actually live a better life? And that is actually what I'm interested in, is how can I manipulate and use Kung Fu and the training that we get mentally, physically, and emotionally when we do Kung Fu in order to better my life? There's a Tai Chi master that I like reading about and watching YouTube videos of. His name is Chen Men-ching, and he's a Tai Chi master who died many decades ago, but there's numerous different books about his life, and a lot of his students wrote about him. One in particular that I like is written by Wolf Lowenthal, and it's called There Are No Secrets. And in this book, it talks about Chen Men-ching always strove to be a master of the 5 excellences. And his 5 excellences were poetry, calligraphy, painting, Chinese medicine, and of course, Tai Chi, or Tai Chi Chen. And I wanted you guys to think about what are the 5 excellences that you are working toward in your life. Maybe the martial arts is one of them, but what are some of the other excellences? And for me personally, some of my 5 excellences are my hobbies, things I do when I'm not teaching for a living. I teach fitness classes, I teach yoga, I teach Kung Fu, Tai Chi, and no matter what the class is, I strive to be a great teacher. But when I'm done teaching, I have other skills I'm trying to master that greatly interest me. And one of them is gardening. I just really have a love for gardening, and gardening edible things. So I love to reap the benefits of my work by eating it. So gardening would be one of my 5 excellences. I would consider another one of my 5 excellences to be the sport of golf. I've been playing golf since I was 3 years old, and I just love golf because I feel like golf, to me, is akin to a karate master practicing archery. And they are not necessarily practicing archery in order to go out and kill somebody. I'm not necessarily practicing golf just because I want to go and be on the PGA Tour, but I can play pretty well, and I play the game because I think it's such a mental game. It's got a lot of similar components to archery. There's accuracy, power, and grace, strength, and smoothness, all at the same time. So I think that golf's one of my 5 excellences. So I want you guys to think about what are your 5 excellences and post them down in the comments below. Let me know what 5 different skills that might include Kung Fu that you are trying to master, and maybe you're using Kung Fu or martial arts in order to amplify your skill in those other excellences. I feel that when we train Tai Chi and when we train Qigong, when we train yoga and when we train Kung Fu, there are side effects to our training, and everybody has different side effects depending on how they train. So if you talk to a UFC fighter, they might have different personality, a different way of looking at the world that might be similar to other UFC fighters, but might be different than you, who is not a tournament fighter trying to win by knocking somebody else out. At the same token, there might be a difference in the side effects that somebody who focuses on the sparring might get as opposed to somebody who focuses on the form. Because some martial artists are good at flexibility, some are good at strength, some are good at form, some are good at sparring, some are good at breathing, some are good at meditating. And everybody's going to gain different side effects depending on how they train and what they train. But I think that the goal of every martial artist should be to become a better steward of the earth and a better steward of society. And when I say this, I mean we should try to live in harmony with nature on this side, but at the same time, live in harmony with how society has been structured on this side. And I don't believe it's enough just to be a nice person to other people. If people are walking up to you and you go, "Hey, my name is Jake Mace. You look great today. Good to shake your hand." That's not enough. You can't just speak this morality. You have to actually act this morality. When nobody else is watching, you have to be a good friend. You have to be a good spouse. You have to be a good coworker. You have to be a good member of society when even nobody's watching, and your actions speak much louder than your words. And so I found that over the years, the ways that I have trained have caused me to gravitate toward other people who have also trained in similar ways that I have. And that's called Fung Shui. You're going to create a Feng Shui not only in the way your home looks or the way your business looks, because the design of a business or a home can be very important, Feng Shui, but you're also going to develop a Feng Shui with your interactions with people. You're going to develop a Feng Shui with your interactions with the earth, and you're going to develop a Feng Shui with your interactions with society at large. And so I've developed a few good friendships and a few connections within the martial arts that have lasted many decades now, and I really value my friendships with certain martial artists. And one of them, his name is Matthew Lee, and he's a Kung Fu master that actually lives now in San Francisco and still teaches and trains to this day. And Matthew Lee has a YouTube channel that's actually called the Tao of Kung Fu. So it's actually youtube.com/Tao of Kung Fu, spelled with a T. I'll put the link on the screen right now. And I want you guys to go over and check this guy's channel out. I'm not saying he's going to be fighting people to the death in each video. I'm not saying he's going to be showing you how to do crazy backflips in each video. But he's going to show you traditional Kung Fu and traditional martial arts and traditional Tai Chi, while at the same time, I believe that martial artists like Matthew Lee, maybe even myself can be considered like this. We're trying to give you real skills that are going to make you a well-rounded martial artist, a traditional martial artist, but also a moral martial artist who develops techniques inside the martial art world, but actually gets side effects that will allow you to live as a wonderful person outside the martial art world. And so I really hope that when you guys train tonight or tomorrow, you train hard, you train yourself correctly, you work on your flexibility with your strength, your kicks with your punches, your ground fighting with your strikes. You train your form with your sparring. You have to be well-rounded. But at the same time, you have to stop and smell the roses. You have to breathe. You have to develop yourself in an honest way. You have to develop skills within your martial arts school, no matter what style that you train, that will cultivate a morally strong attitude toward the environment and toward society. And that's what martial arts is all about. It's about learning how to live by nature's law and how to live well and die quickly, which is what the Chinese always say is a model of perfect health. So keep coming to our channel here. We have many, many videos coming up. We're going to be going into some amazing staff videos, some really good Tai Chi combat. We're going to also be going on to some weapons like Bagua moon forks, as well as different styles of Bagua like snake and dragon. We're going to include some sparring, and we're going to go on location and actually feature other martial artists and other martial arts styles so that you guys get a taste of different styles of martial arts, not just Kung Fu. And you guys can let me know which videos you like the best by watching them, sharing them, hitting the like button, leaving a comment, and subscribing to our channel. We wouldn't even be here on YouTube able to train you unless you guys were playing a role. So the more you play a role, the more we get pumped up to put more videos out so that you guys can learn faster and learn better and learn traditional martial arts no matter what country you live in. If you're in America, if you're in Canada, if you're in Europe or in the Middle East or in Africa or in Australia, we love having all you guys train with us. So I'll see you back here for our next video. Feel free to go to our channel and click on one of our training videos so that tonight you get at least 5 minutes of a workout or a kicking routine or a form. And that way you go to bed having trained Kung Fu and not missed one day. This is Jake Mace signing off. Check out my friend Master Matthew Lee's YouTube channel at the Tao of Kung Fu, and I'll see you guys here next time.